that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last block of our spawning platform for the new farm that we're going to be building in today's episode. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Hermitcraft, Mesified, and last episode we did the passive mob farm. This one we're going to be building another farm. It's another big project, and check it out. For those of you that watch the live streams, you'll know all about this. We've been building this for a few months, I think. Just doing little bits here and there, getting ready for the day where I decide, right, we're going to make this next farm here on Hermitcraft, which, if you saw last season, is going to be the Donut 2.0. The Donut was an amazing farm. This is going to produce us insane amounts of XP and gold, and we're going to be doing it again with a new design here in Season 4 World. It's going to be exciting. I love it. We're not going to jump straight into building. I think I'll walk around a little bit just so you can see what's going on here. We've got 3 different floors. We decided to give them traffic light colours just to make it a little bit interesting. Then we have our roof up the top here so that zombie pigmen and some of the smaller magma cubes can spawn in this area, but no ghasts. They would ruin everything, wouldn't they? So the farm that we're going to be building was made by Snow Crash. It's the same as last season, so there'll be a link to his farm in the description box if at any point when you're watching this you're thinking, I would like to build this myself. And also, the fan art that you saw at the beginning of this video was made by ZloYxp. I'll put a link to his channel as well. He made that for me for hitting 500,000 subscribers, which is a thing that we have actually done. Yes, 500,000, 500,000, incredible stuff. I don't know what to say. I don't feel like right now I'm in that mindset to make a little speech about it. Maybe I'll do that later on in the video. But what I do want to say is thank you for all of the support, of course. It is amazing to reach that number. Never thought that I would. 500,000, 500,000. Incredible stuff. So yeah, we've reached that milestone on the channel. And it's all good, really, at the moment. So before we get to any gold farm shenanigans, we got to check up on the passive mob farm that we built last episode. I got good news, and I've made modifications as well. After using this for a while, to be fair, haven't been able to AFK for more than a few hours. I have then decided to modify this so that we have a wall and that the animals will come off in one direction. Now I believe that these might be completely unnecessary now, as the mobs will fall off as they get pushed out of the portal by other mobs. And the only ones we have at the moment are sheep. Now the reason that I've done this is so that all the mobs will get hit by lava when we press the buttons. So there you go. We now have dispensers there underneath the portal, and all of the drops will get picked up by the hoppers. So let's go and see our goodies, all the things that we picked up from the farm. There's been quite a few mobs coming through, and this is it. It doesn't sort of look like a lot, but to me it is, because we're going to make improvements. We're going to get the rates of this farm up, and you can see quite a lot of stuff has come through, in my opinion, at least for a couple of hours, you know, after getting this farm set up for the first time, and that's pretty cool. It's not terribly exciting now that I've sort of shown it. It's like, okay, what's next? Well, you know we're not going to be working on this, so not too much more to talk about. We'll come back to this project again in the future and improve the rates, and of course, when I get the opportunity to, I will be AFKing. But anyway, let's head back over to the gold farm, although, actually, I think there might be a couple of other things I want to show you first. One of those is our tunnel to the passive mob farm, and I've started from the corner where the turn is, because this lines perfectly up with the entrance, and over there is the entrance to the Nether Hub, which I've also done a little bit of work on. We'll check that out in a moment. And this is basically the design for the tunnel. It's the same as what we built on the other side in the overworld, if you remember the design. And what we'll end up having is a rail down the middle here. I'm also considering maybe putting some pressure plates on the side to stop these mobs spawning, but then we'd need to put them on the andesite as well. So not sure how that's going to work out, but I'm not too bothered because these guys won't walk across the rails anymore. That used to be a thing in the game a long time ago. It was very annoying. And oh, I don't have any cobblestone left, do I? Yeah, I've just stocked up my inventory with supplies for building this, and these are the materials that we're going to be using, and believe me, we're going to use a lot of them as well. These are just a few bits right here. So basically this thing is what you see on the outside. It's going to have lots of cobblestone to protect it from ghasts, which have been shooting at me while we have been building this. And that's about all there is to say at the moment. It's one of those things that I'm basically going to chip away at as time goes by. So heading back into the hub, you may notice this place looks a little bit different. We used to have the old hub up above, and that thing had become a real mess, and people are still using it to get to some of the tunnels that are at the top. And I know that Tango wants to sort of build upwards here and put a big roof on this room. It looks fantastic so far. but it is not done yet. It is going to look even better by the time that it's done. So what we've gone and done is cleared out the top area and sort of created a little bit of a balcony around the outside which you can walk around. So in each of the corners there are ladders to get up to the top, and hopefully this is going to be intuitive for other players. All those little tunnels and stuff that used to go off to the side that everyone used, I mean, if you play on here that makes a lot more sense than if you watch. Looks like we've got a few floaty blocks to get rid of as well. For example, I got a portal over there. We have the rail that leads to the spawn chunks portal, and I got my villagers up here as well. And now you can just, use this little balcony around the outside to get to the various different ones, like this one over here. And another thing that we've also done is sorted out our own portals. So on the map, I appear over here, but actually in the world, my portal is a little bit further back, and you can see something behind the main nether portal right here. Check this out. Doesn't that look lovely? We are using some of the new blocks in 1.10. We got the bone blocks. They look gorgeous, and then we got some red nether brick up the top there. I was actually thinking about putting that behind the portal as well. At the moment it's just andesite. And then we got my colours, green, grey and purple. And so you know whose this leads to. This is going to lead to my one, of course. And yeah, that's the other things that I've been up to. But anyway, we should really get back onto today's project, which is the gold farm. So let's head up there and start doing some work. Man, it takes a long time to get to the top of this thing. And yeah, we're now ready to start work on it, and I could do a lot of talking about how this thing works, but I'd really like to not just sit here and talk for a while and actually get to building. So what we really need is some sort of safety net in case you were to fall off, and that's exactly what I've built down here. We've got like a whole bunch of slime blocks that we can bounce off of, and these have been built at a height that means that we can work on all of the redstone and all of the other stuff that's going to be going down here. So I've made it out of slime blocks, so it's nice and easy to remove. You can of course just punch it, and we got these slabs to stop ghast spawning. So with this we should be pretty set to start building this thing. So resource gathering is the thing that we do in this game, and of course making a golden XP farm. What is the one thing that you're going to need? It's ice. Of course, why would it not be ice? Anyway, you'll see exactly why later on. No idea why that block is there. Actually, that looks like a classic creeper blast, doesn't it? Something I'll need to fix at a later date. Okay, so that is almost the last of all the resources that we need. These are the things we're going to use to build the farm, and we also need 20 stacks of glass that's dyed. We're going to use white dyed glass in this, or stained, isn't it? Is it stained or dyed? Do you know what? I don't have any on my inventory to find out right now. But we're going to start off with the trap that allows the pigmen, when they're aggressive at the player, to try and get to the player and then fall into a trap and fall down below to somewhere around this height. And there are going to be 4 of those in total, as you can see by the layout of the slime blocks. There are of course some back there as well. So we're going to build 4 of these things. We're going to have one over there, there, and on that side as well. So if you haven't seen one of these farms before, a lot of what I'm going to say won't make a lot of sense. So let's start as if you haven't seen this farm before. These are the spawning platforms for zombie pigmen. When we make the zombie pigmen aggressive, they're going to try and get to the player, and we're going to be standing in the middle. So what we have set up first of all are these little traps which basically trick the zombie pigmen into going, aha, the player is over there. They walk through, they fall down. It looks like some of them have already done that. Hey, one of them is testing it with us. It works, confirmed. And yeah, then they will die on impact at the bottom. They will drop XP because they are aggressive at the player, which is almost a bug. It's actually sort of a line in the code where you can see they've done it the lazy way. And it means that if another pigman is aggressive at the player, it drops XP on death. Anyway, they're going to drop down there, and we're going to send the items across and the XP up to the player. So now that we've built one of these traps on each level, and there's 4 of them in total, you know, around the sides, we've got to build some big chutes for the zombie pigmen to drop down onto, and then we're going to have a trap at the bottom which will kill them. Okay, I believe those are the last blocks we're going to place for our little contraption right now, although what I will do is show you where the redstone wire comes in. And have I got a way to power it? I've got a redstone torch, that's terrific. So a signal is going to come in from down here, it's going to come all the way from the centre where we're going to have a clock. And what it will do is this, and the rest of it didn't activate. That is because we need a piece of redstone right there. Let's try that again. Aha, there you go. That also killed the pigman. I think they also can like be killed from full damage alone, so I need to double check the height of this. Let's just do that again, and then the slime blocks are going to push all of the other items along the ice. So we're going to have ice leading all the way up to the center. Later on there will be a collection point for those items, and later on we'll also move the XP up top. Now what was really annoying about doing this was these guys down here who have accumulated, they've been standing around in a group. I think when they're on slime blocks they don't like to move as much, and doing all of this careful jumping up and down, placing, removing blocks has been a real pain with them hanging around. So I think what we'll do is go to the other traps and close the trapdoors for now, and then we will continue work on this area and do the rest of these. So every now and then we are just going to have to jump into the spectator mode so that we can have a nice and visible view of this farm. You know, it's pretty moody recording with the regular view in the nether, but we have the night vision and it means we can see everything clearly, and the sky is bright and red. And so here are 4 of the drop chambers. They look pretty cool, right? They're all the same as the first one that you saw. I think I've built them all correctly as well. Apparently I've missed a couple of blocks behind here that I need to remove. And the next step now is for us to build the bridge that goes across to the middle. That's just going to be made out of ice. It's going to have some redstone running down the side it as well, so the pigmen fall down into the trap, they get killed, and their items and XP get sent towards the center. But as of right now, I've spent a long time working on this farm. I think we should take a little break and go back to the passive mob farm. So last episode I got a lot of feedback about our killing system here in the nether for the passive mob farm. Lots of ideas being shared, and if it weren't clear, this is a work in progress. This is something where we come along and try out different ideas. Speaking of which, it would probably make sense to put these down first, and you've probably got a good idea of what we're doing right here because lots and lots of people suggested this. We got a new block in the game. It's the magma block, and it will do damage to mobs that stand on top of it. Like that little chicken, if he decides to go. He's looking down, he's thinking, I don't know about that. That block looks a little bit suspicious. Anyway, the mobs will fall down onto this, they will take damage, and then these minecart hoppers right here will pick up their drops. Where did the other one go? Like, it's not moving. Did I not nudge it enough? I thought it took off. Off you go. Is that good? Is that okay? Yeah, that seems to be fine. So let's throw down a few items. I'm pressing the wrong button. I've reassigned my drop item key to the letter R. There you go. It picked it up, and now this one stays here because it is powered by this repeater, but it will be turned off if ever there are items going through this hopper, because the comparison will turn off. So all of the items get picked up down here, which is really cool. Now that's just one way of doing it though. You know, the mobs will come through from the other side, and now that I think about it, we won't need these anymore, so let's get rid of them. And if you're wondering why I'm not taking damage, it's because I'm holding shift. Yeah, if you didn't know that, all you have to do is hold down shift on these blocks and then you'll be okay. If I stand up, oh no, if I hold down shift, I'm fine. So yeah, that's how this works. And another really interesting suggestion that I got, because at some point what I want to do is filter the animals that come through here. So we're just trying out a few different methods for killing them. The other suggestion was, there we go, don't want to take damage for too long, to arrange the blocks here. Look, when you jump on it, for the first time you take damage. Look, I'm holding shift as well. Just interesting how things work in this game. If you arrange the blocks something like this, I don't know if I've got it 100% correct, but basically all other mobs will eventually fall down into the gap down below, and I do believe we'll probably, well actually no, that will probably be just fine. They'd fall down here, they can't get back up, and horses would actually stay up top, so that would be a way to filter them. But the problem there is they can wander back into the portal. As I say it though, you just need to build this a few blocks lower, so that could be a way to keep horses. However, it means I would have to go into this area to get the horses out, you know, ride them a little bit and put a saddle on them and then ride them out of the area. I'm hoping to find a way to separate them where we just sort of move them out automatically. Anyway, it's just something we'll work on as time goes by. I think we can do away with this stuff right here. We don't need to go back to the top again. It's all about what's going on down below. So, as I've sort of stated, the zombie pigmen are going to fall down. They're going to get killed. Their drops are going to land on the ice and get pushed across by the slime blocks and fly all the way to the center. And you can see, yeah, we got these things being built, but somewhere around here is where we need to do the next bit, which is pick up the items that go across the ice. And there is only one way that I can think of to do this. If we use hoppers, we're going to have issues with the XP getting caught in the hopper. So the way to do it is to have something like this. We're going to have 3 hoppers going across at this height, and then another 3 pointing into them. Now I need to go up there and build at this height, and here's where things get tricky, because we want to have some hopper minecarts. We could probably get away with 3 in a row, but I would like to double up here. So what we're going to do is put our 3 rails across like that, and I think it doesn't really matter what we do, the next one is going to connect. So we always use this technique like this, and then that means that we can have 3 in a row on either side. Now we want all of these to stay in the same place, and I haven't really brought a lot of other blocks with me, so I'll probably rebuild this, make sure it's in the right spot. But we will have some blocks like that on that side and on this side as well. Although there's redstone there, I have done this wrong. This all needs to be 1 block lower. Okay, while we're lowering this, I do just want to mention that the cyan here was a deliberate choice of material to put the redstone on. All of the redstone's going to be done with that, because we've used hardened clay up there, but 3 different colours, and I felt like down here we needed more hardened clay, but something neutral. So the cyan kind of worked for me. So this will continue to go across. That means that redstone can go here. If there is a hopper underneath it, it's only going to get locked like for a split second every now and then. It really shouldn't be an issue. So what we then do is have the hopper minecarts like this. The best way I find to do it is to do the one either side, then the one in the middle. If you do the one in the middle first, well, sometimes they move like that, which can be a little frustrating. I don't know. It might mean that this one doesn't quite pick up the ones on the very far side over here. I don't know, but it'll pick up most of them, and there'll be tons of drops, so we don't have to worry about waste, you know. It'll happen. Anyway, the ice will get extended across here. The glass will continue to go above it as well, and that's how the items are going to get picked up. Time for Spectator Mode again, and I can hear a low hum. And I believe it is these just very gently moving back and forth, but that shouldn't be a problem at all. And believe it or not, I think we're very close now to testing this thing. Can you believe it? Looks pretty crazy, right? And I feel like I should mention again, this is all based on Snow Crash's farm design. He's made a tutorial, it has a world download, and his farm is very skeletal, and what I've sort of done is just tweaked and changed a few things here and there, like put glass over the top of this ice here. Now I had to rebuild these things after building them a couple of times because I was facing them in the wrong directions. They're going to collect and go into a silent item elevator, which we're going to have right here. And we're not going to build that today because, do you know what, I'm not too fussed now about the items. I can come down here and get them manually. I really just want to see this thing go. So the clock is going to control a ring of redstone in the middle, as you can see right there, and that's going to power these pistons, so that's going to push the slime blocks up, and that means that items, well, mobs come down, items go across, then they go up, and then they need a second boost. And when I say they, I mean the XP. The items get picked up down below. So there is a delay from the signal sort of traveling through these torches up to the top here, and then these things get activated. They move inwards, push upwards, and send the XP all the way to the top, which I do believe is literally just somewhere around here, and we are very close to doing that. So let's get this redstone clock built, and then we might be giving this thing a test run, believe it or not. You guys have been naughty. Down you go. I love that sound as well. Oh, I got to get across there. Okay, that was the elytra being glitchy. So these things are a bit of a hangover from when we didn't have the elytra. You know, the world started on 1.9, but it took us some time to actually get elytras. Now they're kind of essential, and of course, you know, I've got them equipped, so whenever I fall off with there, all I have to do is tap spacebar, and I can make my way down safely. So we might as well pick up all of this while we're at it. Okay, the clock has been added. We can see it just down there in the middle. We want to pay attention to the comparators, which just depowered. You saw some stuff happen. Some stuff's going to happen in the middle, and then it's going to happen again right there. So how does this clock work? Well, we're using comparators to make a signal decay clock. So There you go, the signal slowly decays and then it will activate the rest of this. So we've got a torch there that sends the signal upwards. This bit right here simply divides the signal out in 4 directions and it makes its way over to the end here. So this bit gets activated first, and it looks like I potentially made a little bit of a mistake there as well. Anyway, after that happens, the signal is going to go through these repeaters like that, which creates a delay. So then these ones here get activated, and then the signal travels upwards with another delay, and then these ones here get activated. So everything there should make sense, and it's basically happening in the same order that we're seeing right now, which is really cool. And it means that this thing, believe it or not, is ready for a test. I've got to tidy up a little bit, remove a few things, and also open these trapdoors over here. But then we are ready to give this thing a test. And if you're wondering why are there no pigmen there at the moment, it's because I am actually down here, standing on the bedrock, AFK. Anyway, this might be the last time that we go into spectator mode for this episode. I'm going to get ready to do this test, and fingers crossed it'll all work. Okay, I just finished placing a whole bunch of blocks. I'm also the only person online, which is good. Opened the trapdoors. And it's just that moment where you're thinking, there is so clearly going to be something that I've forgotten. What is that drop there? Like, what is that item and why is it there? Sort of looks... Oh, do you know what, actually? I removed... Oh, yes, of course, I removed some blocks going across to that side. Alright, so eventually we will make this a lot better, but you come up here and then you need to stand on the trapdoor. And we've got to have an open gap on all sides. So what we'll probably do, and we'll actually do right now as well, just to experiment, and yes, I know that my pick is very close to being destroyed, is we'll have blocks like this so you can't walk off, but the XP can come up. So that's it. That's it. Like, we're ready to go. I can't help but feel something is going to go wrong, but we're just going to go for it. The Pigmen are angry. They're falling down below. We can see that on all sides. They are dying at the bottom. That is absolutely fantastic. The clock is going to push the items and XP across. Any moment now. It was working a moment ago. Some of them are alive. Interesting. They didn't get killed. And where did their items go? I don't think we can really see the items and XP. And now there are still a few falling down. And where is my XP? It's not working. What's gone wrong? Ah, all of this. And something is something to do with that. Like, they shouldn't be surviving. There's XP over there that's getting caught. That looks like it's messed up completely on that side. Oh. I kind of knew this would happen, you know, you get to that vital point where it's all supposed to work and then, oh no, something goes wrong. One thing that is promising is that they're still falling down, so they're, you know, spawning up here, they're becoming aggressive, and then they're going back down. Also, can mobs spawn on a trapdoor? I don't know, let's leave it open just in case. And let's go down below and try and investigate. Oh, that's right, I would have filled up, yeah, this little gap here as well. I think somewhere down below it's been filled up. Okay, so let's walk across here and have a closer look at what's going on. And I've got plans for all of this back here, by the way. It's all going to change in the middle. There's still so much more to do. So the ice, yeah, that thing has messed up, hasn't it? That shouldn't happen. Has that happened on all sides? Because that might be a log-in, log-out issue. Now, if you do the timing wrong... Oh, no! Yeah, if you get the timing wrong, that thing can happen. However, it was all absolutely fine. One of them was done wrong, and I came and fixed it, and now they're all wrong, which suggests to me that we might have a chunk load-unload issue over here, which changed the timing and means that the ice blocks get picked up by the other one. I'm hoping it's something obvious that I've done wrong, and Snow Crash is going to be like, Asuma, you're an idiot, you're supposed to do it like this, and I'll be like, cheers. Okay, so it looks like we have identified the problem. Hopefully the rest of it will work after. I'm going to fix that. And I guess the best way to do that actually is to start off by getting all of the pigmen to despawn. So we're going to go down here and I have... Oh, look at all the XP. We can still get it. Look at this. All the items have been flying out. That's not good. We'll have to look into that. Maybe put some hoppers around the outside to collect the stuff. Okay, everything is fine with my redstone. I really do think it's a load-unload issue because as soon as I move the ice blocks, then it's working like normal. So... that might be a big problem for this farm, but as of right now, we don't have to worry about it too much. We just need to give this thing another shot, and there they go, in come the pigmen. So this time, dying at the bottom. That's great. Let's see the thing activate already. Some of them surviving, then they get killed. The XP goes across. Now the XP is going to come up to us. I really sort of want to see more of this. There it is! Amazing! That was a great idea to switch to F5 because, oh, we need to stand like right in the middle. Come on, over the top you go. Yeah, I think I might have built this little bit right here 1 block too high, but what you are seeing is no lie, that's kind of how it works. Let's try and focus on what's going on near the hunger bar. Okay, so up comes the XP. Then as it's going to fall down, it sort of goes alongside this. And do you know what? Compared to what I did in the creative world where I designed all the tweaks and changes, I think this needs to be 1 block lower down. And that's probably something that we can do right now, actually. I think I'm going to lower it by 1, and then we're going to check out what it looks like with Spectator Mode. You see my pick? This thing was very nearly out, and its durability has now popped up, and there's a little bit of red on there. I don't even know how that happens, how it reverses like that. That is really bizarre. I've gained about 40... Wasn't it just 88 when I checked a second ago? Now it's... That is really, really odd. Let's break a few more blocks. 140... Mending. Oh my god. That is the silliest mistake. Alright, it is working. It is working just fine. When other players are online, I'll expect this thing not to work so well. Not sure why there is a lone chicken here. Obviously the rider on top died. Maybe his head spawns inside the block above. That would be a typical Minecraft error, wouldn't it? So let's have a look at what's going on. That's not so promising to see actually down there. All of those items. And waste is going to be a big thing in this farm. But we still get tons of XP. Maybe I should have collected the items earlier on. I guess the thinking here is that, you know, you're closer to the item elevator so you don't have to use as many hoppers, but that's kind of disappointing. It doesn't act like that in the test world, so I may have to like brainstorm what's going on there. Let's see if we're actually picking up any items though. They will make their way into this one. Yeah, so we are getting stuff, and aha, a lot of stuff actually. So they are making their way across. Well, that's good. And loads of XP down the bottom here. This thing isn't finished, by the way. If we build all of this all the way up, then all of that stuff should, in theory, you know, make its way all the way to the top. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, even though it's lossy, we're still standing here doing nothing and getting XP, which is really, really great. So, some redesign, tweaking and adjusting of things is definitely going to happen. This is a really big problem. There are lots of these little guys surviving, and then they get caught around this middle area, so we can prevent some of that, but I don't understand why so many of them are surviving the fall. Also, the fall doesn't seem to kill all of the zombie pigmen, but it's on one side in particular that they seem to survive more often, which is just really bizarre. There you go. Kind of look like that guy sort of landed bouncing, but that doesn't make any sense. So, you know, things will change. My sound here is muted. By the way, I've had like the test world open for this, and you can hear the pistons firing off the entire time I'm recording. So you're hearing the sound from this one right here at the moment. So, despite its issues, we should look at it like this. We have a farm that can be tweaked, changed, and improved. And as it stands, I could just stand here and gather XP for a long, long time. Of course, we can improve the amount of XP that we're getting, but already we're up to 58 levels, which is really cool, because this thing has only been running for about 20-30 minutes, something like that, which is just awesome. And yeah, that's going to be it from me this episode of Hermitcraft. Do hope you have enjoyed it. As always, if you have, leave a like, and of course, the links to the aforementioned Snow Crash's farm. This one that we've built can be found in the description box, and ZloYxp art that you saw at the beginning of the video. And that's it from me this one. So, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.